You guys think, when you hear the word circle, what does that mean to you guys?
That's people you surround yourself.
Yeah, the people you surround yourself with, really.
So, why is your circle important then?
They can have an influence on your life. Like, for example, if I was to chill with, I don't know, 5 guys that do smoking, I could probably become the 6th person that's going to start smoking as well. However, if I was to chill with people, like 5 other people that are potentially wealthy, I could be 6th person to be potentially wealthy as well. So I think the people that you're surrounded yourself with, it kind of affect your life, really, to be honest. But it depends on the people you chill with, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I agree, because the people that you're around are the people that you become. Like, you get like footballers, they're gonna hang around footballers. Like, entrepreneurs are gonna hang around entrepreneurs. So it's kind of like the people that you surround yourself with are the people that you're gonna turn into.
Yeah, sure.
Even if that's like subconsciously or not, either way you're gonna turn into them.
that's true, to be honest.
You know what I heard? I always hear this quote, and I'm gonna say angel's advocate today. I always hear this quote: you're the average person of you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, or something like that. Do you guys agree with that quote?
To an extent.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because I feel like not everyone is as easily influenced by people that they chill with. Like for me, for example, I might hang around with a group of people that do nothing with their life, just amount to nothing. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to amount to nothing. It just means that I might be wasting my time with them, but I might not necessarily have the same actions as them. They might be like after school just going out doing nothing, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be the same, because like subconsciously in my mind, if I'm strong in my mind, then I won't necessarily follow their way. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you chill with someone that doesn't really do anything good in their life, that you're going to be the same. It's not the same for everyone.
But I thought that's your circle there.
Yeah, no, your circle.
So, and one aspect you're saying the circle does influence you, but
Yeah, I think it's 50-50.
I
think that's true.
I get what you're saying. Like, to some extent, it's down to the person, but in most cases, like if your circle is going to influence you the most, like the people that you're around, the people that you're spending time with, they're going to rub off on you, even if that's like the things they say. Like slowly, if you're exposing yourself to the type of things that they're saying and the ways that they're acting, like you might turn into that. Obviously, like your own will has some influence, but I feel like, that quote, like you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, like I kind of agree with it, like, because you might even spend time with some people that are like, not doing much with their life, and you might spend time with people who are doing a lot with their life and are successful, but like you're still going to be the average of them. Like if you surround yourself with loads of millionaires, then it's a matter of time until you become a millionaire. It's literally, it's as easy as that.
Yeah, it's true, but also I feel like it depends how strong you are mentally, because you might be around millionaires, but you might not necessarily take action to get to where they are at, but you're just surrounded by them. That doesn't mean that you're going to be on track to becoming a millionaire. But it's not the same case for everyone, I'm just saying. For like in some cases, some people, their mindset isn't as strong as others. Some people are not as easily led as some other people might be. So it really depends on yourself and how you think, and how easily your mind can just be the way you follow others. And that's what I really think.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, with this one, I struggle with it, because with how I grew up, I wasn't the average of the 5 people that I was around. So I felt like I was completely different. But at the same time, I don't believe you only have one circle.
Yeah.
That's true for me.
I feel like your friends and your circle could be 2 different groups.
That's true. That's true.
So you still obviously may get influenced by your friends, but you're more likely to get, if you understand that there's 2 separate groups, you're going to get influenced by your circle, because this is where I'm going to eat from. Your circle's where you're going to eat from. That might be eating knowledge or whatever it may be. That's where you're eating from. Your friends are just people that you go and chill with. So there'll be times when I've got business to do. There's certain friends I'm not going to talk to about business, because I know they're not on that wave.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I cut off that friendship.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be strong-minded for that to happen anyway. But I have seen a lot of instances where a lot of people will post or try and do some motivational things saying, if your friends are not supporting you, get rid of them, some rubbish like that.
Yeah, cut them
I always disagree with rubbish like that, because what will happen is The reason I say that is because what happens is a lot of people get to the top and then they're lonely. But they're lonely because you got rid of your friends. And some of your friends, there are some friends that will hold you down, but the ones that are not holding you down and they're just the same way you accept them for who they are, they're accepting you for who you are. When you get to the top or whatever, they're still going to accept you for who you are. But if you cut them off early, then you're going to get to the top and be like, right, I don't even know who this person only came when I was at the top, so I don't even know if they were my real friend.
True.
That's true.
No, but you know what it is, yeah? Like, I feel like to a certain extent, there's certain friends that if you keep them near you or you keep them with you, even while you're trying to get to the top, like they're taking energy out of you, like they're taking stuff from you which you could be applying. Like you could be helping yourself get to the top. Like some friends are genuinely, like even though they're your friends, you might have known them for years, like they still might be like bad for you.
Yeah, of course,
stop you from progressing.
Yeah, so like with that, like I said, it depends what you give them, innit? So like that's what I say. If you keep the friends separate and you know what you can get for this person or what that person's for, so like I might have someone who they bring loads of problems to me. So that's not the person I'm going to be calling up every day.
Yeah.
Because that's taking away my energy. But I might call that person up. Oh yeah, do you know what? It's been a busy week. Saturday, do you want to go out, bro? Like,
yeah,
let's go and chill or something like that. Then I can take that because I've limited how much energy you can take from me. So it's all about, I think it is more when it comes to circle of friends. It is a bit more about how strong-minded you are as a person.
Yeah.
But I think I would say it's harder for you guys because you're younger.
Yeah, that's
I think as you get older, you kind of just clock certain things.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like, especially if you're young and you got friends that you know, like, oh, maybe I'm not doing business with them, or maybe I'm not going, like, they're not going to help me get to the top. Then, and you still want to keep them as your friends because they're your friends. Like, you still need to at least work on building your network. Because, like, something I heard was you're one conversation away from being a millionaire. Like, you never know who you meet on the street. If you're just improving your network, going to like networking events and stuff like that, then you're bound to meet someone that you can do business with, or they can give you work or something. You can work together and you can benefit from it. So if you're gonna if you're gonna have friends that are gonna hold you back, or friends that aren't progressing with you, at least find people that you can bring into your life that will help you progress.
Of course, yeah. So that's what I was saying about you have your circle and then you have your friends.
Yeah.
There's two separate things there.
I feel like what you need to do is just differentiate between people that you call your friends, or like school friends, for example, and then your actual circle of people that you associate with and you speak to on a daily basis.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, for example, I could have friends at school, I might talk to them at school, but then out of school, I've got my circle of people that I speak to and converse with, business related things or just in general. And if you do that, then you won't necessarily have to cut off those friends that may not bring any value to you, or you could try bring value to them, try help them with what you're doing. If they don't really want to get on the same wavelength as you, then you just have to accept them for who they are and just keep doing what you're doing, and don't let them drain energy from you, because if you let them drain energy from you, then you're just weak-minded.
Yeah. And what kind of people do you reckon you should have in your circle?
Is that again, sorry?
What kind of people do you reckon you should have in your circle?
Ones that elevate you and hold you accountable.
If you're talking about friends, then just people that want to get you to the next level, in the sense of trying to elevate you, as Daniel said, obviously.
And I think if your friends aren't elevating you, then at least, like, if you're not doing business with them, at least let them like respect and help you. So say for example, you've got business or you've got work or something, and you'll have friends that will be like, oh, let's go out, and you'll tell them, oh, I have work, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. And they'll be like, oh yeah, no, forget that, you can do it another time, let's go out. And then you'll have friends that will be like, oh, let's go out, and you tell them, oh, I've got work, or I've got something to do, I've got emails to write. Then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool, we'll do it another time. And those two types of friends, like, they're very different, and they can benefit you in very different ways.
Yeah, I remember there was one boy that I was that I was mentoring before, and we was talking about his partner, and they came up with the same thing, like he was saying, oh, sometimes when he says to his girlfriend that he's got work to do or something, she's like, yeah, I can still come over and blah blah. And I remember, I can't lie, I told her to get rid. I said, like, if she like, if you said you've got work to do and she said, yeah, I'll still come over, she knows she's going to be a distraction.
Yeah, that.
So like, for her to not respect
to get
Like,
rid of
what's she coming over for?
the distraction.
Just to watch you do your work. Like, it's not happening. You know you're going to get distracted. So I said, if you've heard that enough times, and that's what you're saying with, there's two types of friends. She could have answered saying, okay, I respect that, I'll come another day.
Yeah.
If you was to hear something like that from a friend's relationship, whatever it is, I've got more respect for that person. With those kind of things. And I think if we're talking about, personally, I think if you're talking about what you should have in a circle, you should definitely have people who can elevate you. But you don't want your circle to be one track. So
what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is
not just business associates.
It's just business, like literally elevate,
Diversity.
elevate. You also need someone who's not even, that's not even their thing. Like everyone has their own skills or their superpower or something like that.
Yeah, you need like a diverse circle.
Yeah, you need a bit more of a diverse one. So
just general friends.
Yeah, so sometimes you don't need elevating. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you need someone who you can just go and chat to, who is not gonna say nothing back, kind of thing. But they're gonna level your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to unload to I've got this idea, and this person might just go, oh, why don't you just give some simple advice that no one's ever gonna give you.
Yeah.
Why don't you just pick one and then go?
I feel like also you need friends you might not talk to them for weeks, days, but they still know the level your friendship's on, because there's people where if you don't speak to them for months, they'll feel like you've cut them off or the energy is different, so they won't speak to you. But if you have a friend that knows how it is and that you're busy, you're working, you're grinding, and they support it, and you can talk to them whenever without them feeling some sort of way, then that's a friend you need to keep.
And do you think, so do you guys think there's a difference between your networking and circle?
Yeah.
What would you say the difference is?
Well,
your circle.
If you think there is a difference, what would you say the difference?
As in network, with people you just network with?
Yeah, so you have a network and then you have your circle.
Yeah. I feel like
I think it's different.
with friends and circle, there's a big similarity. I feel like your circle kind of embodies your friends and the people that you spend most time with. But I feel like your network is the contacts that you have. So even people you might not speak to, but just having that contact means they're part of your network. So you never know, you might need something and you can call them and say, oh, can you help me with this? They're your network. You've spoken to them maybe once, or maybe you only met them once.
Yeah.
But you've got their contact, they're your network, you can reach out to them.
Yeah.
Would you go, what else?
Yeah, I feel like your network is, for example, you might have networked with a property designer and you might have their contact down, but you only have their contact down when you need to reach out to them. But your circle are people that you may talk to on a consistent basis. So it's not necessarily a thing where you have their details and you just call them if you need something. Because your network, I feel like, is when you need something from them or you want to work on something together. But your circle is completely different because they're your friends. They might be your day ones that you chilled with from primary school. So the relationship with them and the relationship with people in your network is completely different.
Yeah, I feel like your network is you approach them when you have an idea or something that provides mutual benefit to both you and them. Your circle are people that you hang around with or people that you might speak to on a day-to-day basis, but it doesn't always have to be an exchange of services or goods or anything like that.
For friends or
just
for
be
network?
if you're speaking to them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think for myself, I do try my best to keep all three separate. Some people do overlap. So I have my friends, and a lot of my friends that I have are actually separate to my circle. So my circle would be people who we have the same similar kind of goals.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I have an event coming up or something like that. My friends and my circle would push that thing for me. My network might not necessarily, unless I'm bringing them to the event as well. And then also as well, my circle is more likely to push the event more than my friends are. Because we have similar goals, so they probably have their own events. So it benefits to do that. But my network, where my network might be able to help is, if I'm looking for a venue, someone from my network might be able to go, do you know what, I'll give you this venue for free. But all you have to do is just make sure that you put my business logo on.
To bring the
thing.
value.
Yeah, so I think that's why you can keep it different. And my friends might be the ones that come to the audience.
Support you.
And come and support or whatever. Same as the circle as well. So that's why it's better when you can keep it separate like that. And I'm telling you as well, like the one thing that I definitely noticed is, especially as I got older, and this is why it's good to have this reflection between like, the age ranges and stuff like that, that you need to keep it separate, because there's some things that my friends won't understand, but it's just because they're who they are, and I accept them for that.
Yeah, because before even, I remember the times that when I started doing all this property stuff, I tried to force it onto my friends, letting them know, look at this property and so on, this strategy or so on. Let's both do this. Obviously, they were my friend. I wanted to try to put them on as well. I wasn't really. Not all of them wanted to do the same thing I wanted to do. So I got to the point where I realized to myself, I was like, oh, this is how people are. But I need to accept them for who they are, obviously, because it's just the way who they are.
Yeah.
If they want to do their own thing, I want to do my own thing. So I do have to try my hardest, obviously, keep them out of my circle, but still keep them as my friend, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, I feel like when you're doing something, like you're like making money or something that's elevating yourself, you assume that your friends would want to do that as well, and you quickly assume like, oh, I'm gonna put my friends and they definitely want to do it. But like the truth is, like they might not actually want to do it, or they might actually not care at all for that. You kind of just have to accept that.
And everyone has their own ways of doing it as well.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
there's plenty of people that I know that are making money, but I don't want to do what they're doing to make money.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, I feel like it's good to also have a balance with a friend. Like it's a person that you can network with, but you also got a personal relationship with them. Yeah. Like for example, me and Jez, I can say he's in my circle, but I can also network with him because we're both in different, like interested in different sectors. So he's into property and I'm into like financials, stuff like that. So I can network with him, or through him, he can help me. And if he needs anything in terms of investing, I can help him. So we're friends on a personal level, but I can also network with him. So if you find that balance, then that's really a perfect friend.
Yeah, it's definitely good. So.
Yeah, I feel like your network can also turn into your friends. Like I have people that like I met through like maybe like networking events or like online something, and they've reached out to me and said like that's why it's also good online, like to tell people, like just reach out to people, say, oh, I do this, like for example, I do crypto, what do you do? Oh, I do forex. Like you never know, and you might in the future come to work together and then you become friends. Like you can actually come closer. Like I've had people who we started networking, then like maybe it's been a few months later, and then I spoke to them. I said, oh, what can you do this, or how can you help me with this? And you start a business together, and you never know, you become friends.
Yeah, social media is very powerful.
Yeah, 100%. And I do love the fact that I think lockdown taught me that the most. Like most of the people that you guys see at my events, I met during lockdown, and it was as simple as that. Like literally messaging, hey, look, I'm looking to do something. What are you doing? I see that we're aligning on this, and then after from them speaking at events, now you're like, oh, what are you doing afterwards? Oh, I'm going for dinner. All right, cool. Yeah, let's go dinner together then, isn't it? And then you just go, oh, what are you up to this Saturday? And then you start chilling.
Bond.
Yeah. So I do agree with that. Your network can become your circle or your friends or whatever as well. And there's some people that know as well that, you know what, we're just networking. Like,
business.
That's it.
Straight business.
Yeah, it's just straight business. So if you call me up, no small talk.
It's straight
What's the deal?
Yeah. Literally.
I'm here for it. Another thing I was going to say was, what do you guys think? You hear this all the time. Your network is your net worth. Again, I'm going to play angel's advocate on this, but I want to hear what you guys think on it.
100%. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Your network is 100% your net worth, because I've seen, like, it's from personal experience. I've spoken to people. I've even gone out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't really like speaking to new people like that, but I've gone out of my way to like speak to people, or just message people, DM them on Instagram, or just go up to them in real life, and it's actually provided benefit to me. Like, I'd say 70% of the money I make right now is through me actually going to speak to someone and them helping me or them making me money in some way.
I believe that as well. That's true.
I got a mentorship from someone from one of your events as well. That's what I was about to say. So always like Pedro said himself as well. You're always one person away. You could be one person away from becoming a millionaire. So you never know, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's a fact, because like I would say the place I'm in right now, I may not be exactly where I want to be, but I've elevated so much in the past few months because of networking. Like, I wasn't someone that really would like to speak to people I didn't know, go to events and just be the youngest one there and you're talking to adults. But now I came out of comfort zone, I've become comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's helped me get to where I am today. Like, for example, with my Forex mentorship, that was through networking, because I reached out to someone and then they reached out to someone else and then we created some common goal, and then from there I found my mentor, and that's paying off. Because if I didn't network, I didn't come out of my comfort zone, then that wouldn't have happened.
100%.
Yeah, 100% agree with what Daniel said. Like, you need to become comfortable in uncomfortable positions, and that's what's going to make you successful. Because if you think about it, if everything was easy, then everyone would be doing it and everyone would be rich. But that's not how it works. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to become like successful.
Yeah, to get to where you want to get to.
Exactly. And also, we said about like, you know, young people like speaking to adults. Like, I feel like that's why young people, like, that's why becoming successful, people leave it so late, because young people are like maybe scared to go speak to adults, or they don't have like social skills yet. If you're like, you haven't got to university yet, you might not have the social skills to like just go up to someone and just speak to them. And once you actually get past that barrier, you'll find out that literally just speaking to people and going to networking events. Networking events is like the main thing. Like, if you just go to networking events, you don't know who you can meet, and you don't know
Just
what they can put you on. Like,
You
can genuinely make money just from going to networking events. It's crazy.
So when you guys go to network events, do you guys set up, like, do you have like aims and objectives that you're thinking, before I get there, this is what I aim to come out with by the end of the thing?
Yeah, I try to give myself a target to network with at least 10 people and give out my business card and get to know what they're doing, get their social media, anything that can. Because I don't want to be the type of person that just leeches onto people, but I have to also bring them value. So then we can help each other out. So I try to see if I can find a common ground so we can work together. So then they'll be more lenient in terms of helping me.
Yeah.
Now, you know what it is. I don't think you need to go to a networking event for any purpose.
That's in general.
You can literally, that's what I'm saying. You could just go there and not know anything about what anyone's talking, and as long as you get contacts, as long as you're building your network, making it wider. Because what you're not realising is you might network with someone, but just by networking with one person, you're adding 10 other people to your network, because you might ask that person, or what do you know about Forex, for example, and they might know 10 other people, at least one of them might know something about Forex. So just through speaking to one person, you're expanding your network by like 100 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think where I say I was playing angel advocate is, I've definitely seen where people have gone to networking events, or I hear that someone's gone to like enough networking events, and 2 years later I'm like, bro, what came out of that? Like, your contact list is mad. I can't lie to you. You've got like 300 people on there, but nothing came out of it. It's just that you know better people now.
Yeah, that's because like some people, they procrastinate. They don't take action. Because if you're going to take someone's details down, you need to reach out to them. Because I know there's a lot of people that they might network, but they don't really like use it to their benefit. They just get their contact details or maybe get their business card, and it just chills in their room, in the wardrobe. You don't do nothing with it.
Because I like, when I go to networking event, you know who I like talking to? It's not the speakers.
What?
It's not the speakers, because the speakers are always going to get people to chat to
People
them.
that are coming.
The people that are coming and not saying nothing.
The quiet ones.
Because you came for a reason.
Yeah.
You've got something, but you're just shy or whatever.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
those man there that are like building things like.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that come to events just to sell services or to
Yeah.
promote something.
Yeah. No, I hate those people. I can't lie.
There's a lot of them.
I don't. That's why. Like, I have speakers at my events, obviously.
Yeah.
But if I was coming to the event, I wouldn't go to speak to them because you come here for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked you guys the first question, like, do you have an objective when you go there? So if I go to a networking event, let's say for example, I'm gonna do, like, okay, I go to a networking event, one of my services might be accounting, for example. I already know that I've gone to the event on a Saturday, on the Monday, I'm gonna push a deal. This is me selling my services, but I'm gonna do it in a smart way. I'm pushing a deal to say that 70% off for the rest of the month, or something like that. So I'm gonna let everyone else know, oh, here's my card. I'm not gonna say anything about my services then, here's my card, just check me out.
If they're interested,
blah, blah.
then they'll look into it.
Yeah. If you need any accounting, the same way you're gonna do it for me as well. And then, but what I like doing with the networking is, I'll have an idea of what I need. So I might go in there and be like, I need someone who's going to edit this video. I need a web designer. I need this and blah blah. So when I'm networking, that's what I've got things in my head what I'm looking for. So now when I find that, obviously the other ones I'm still going to take the contact details and everything. But when I find it, I'm like, hey look, if you ever need accountancy, I'm looking for a web designer, for example.
Yeah.
Let's just do service for service. Like there's no money exchanged. Like I'll do your account for free. You just help me with my.
That's what I'm saying. That's important as well. Like people forget, they think when you go to networking events, you can just take. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And even if you just want to take, if you present yourself as like having value to that person, if you present yourself as being able to provide a service, then they'll be more willing to give you what they can give you.
100%. 100%.
To be honest, especially when you go to an event, you don't want to seem desperate trying to sell your services too quickly. Because obviously, you might just put the person off saying, "Oh, I might not want this guy to mentor me anymore, or get his financial services anymore for him because of just how desperate he is towards the situation." So you just need to do it in a smart way, to be honest.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of people are trying to sell something to you. Like I went to an event the other day, and they were trying to like push their services onto me so hard, but they were trying to do it in a nice way so that I wouldn't realise what they were doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that because the sole purpose of me going there was to network and to find people that specifically I needed. Because when I network with people, we're having a conversation, I'll ask them that, oh, what are you interested in, or what it is that you're currently doing, and that way I'll know whether I could benefit them or they could benefit me. But then there are some people that will just come up to you and just try to present you what they have. Because I was networking with someone and they weren't really taking in what I was saying to them. They were just telling me what they sell and what they're doing.
Yeah, I hear that.
Try to push it onto you.
Most people try and do that. They don't even listen to anything you're saying.
They brush it off.
So you know what to do in those situations? Just throw something random in there.
I could. There was
a
wife and a husband.
Just be talking like, yeah. So you know how the sky's green.
Yeah.
And just move past it and see if they say something.
I was trying to leave. Then they invited me to come sit down. I had a phone call so I could go.
Nah, because that's one thing. If I know someone's not listening to me, I'm telling you, I'm throwing something random into the conversation just to see if they clock. And then when they don't clock, I'm like, alright, see you later.
You know what? I tried to divert the conversation. The wife stopped speaking. Then the husband came in, a whole new topic. Then I couldn't do nothing. I was stuck. I just have to listen to them, but I already know that I'm not listening. I'm listening, but subconsciously I already rejected what they're offering. But I just have to see it through.